fire has broken out at the old ethanol plant in Portales off of Highway 70.
Is it spring or is it summer? Find out more on my first weather forecast.
And 2 women in Truth or Consequences are facing the consequences of animal abuse. All this and more right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Micah Hargers.
And I'm Fernando Balderrama. Thank you so much for watching.
A possible chemical fire started this afternoon at the old ethanol plant off of Highway 70 heading west out of town. One known building in the area is Dairy Farmers of America. This caused a grass fire which was quickly contained. Currently, one westbound lane is closed, and currently no other buildings have been harmed. There are multiple fire agencies helping to contain the fire. Currently, the Clovis, Dora, and Alita fire crews are working with Portales PD and Fire Department.
On March 22nd, around 12:20.
On March 22nd at around 12:28 a.m., a 911 caller reported hearing multiple gunshots at Grand and Calhoun Street in Clovis, New Mexico. Several more calls were then received claiming the same thing, as well as reporting that multiple people had been shot. After emergency services had been dispatched to the scene, 5 individuals were taken to the Plains Regional Medical Center with varying degrees of injury. Of the 5 individuals, a 17-year-old female had to be airlifted to a Lubbock, Texas area hospital. One victim, identified as 21-year-old Larisha Hoskins, is deceased. Police Chief Trevor Throne posted to the Clovis PD's Facebook page stating that authorities had recovered 4 pistols, 2 of which had fully automatic conversion devices, as well as an AR-15 rifle that had also been modified to be fully automatic. 8 individuals were detained in relation to the incident, with 3 individuals being arrested on unrelated charges. Chief Throne is asking individuals with any information related to the shooting to call the non-emergency line at 575-769-1921 or contact the Curry County Crime Stoppers at 575-763-7000.
Police in Truth or Consequences have arrested a pair of women accused of an extreme case of animal cruelty. Earlier this month, Code Enforcement and Animal Control arrived at Jessica Garcia and Angel Padilla's apartment to serve a search warrant following reports of possible animal abuse. Upon arrival, officers found 7 dogs in crates who were standing in there in their own compacted feces. Many of the animals showed signs of malnourishment, matted fur, fleas, ticks, and overgrown nails. All 7 of the dogs were rushed to the animal shelter and were evaluated by a vet. One dog's condition was too severe and they unfortunately had to euthanize it. On Monday the 23rd, police found Garcia and Padilla hiding in the crawl space of an attic while serving a search warrant on the home, and both women now face 7 counts of extreme animal cruelty.
Tuesday, March 24th, around 10:53 a.m., unified fire was reported in Valencia County, New Mexico. Many roads, such as Madrone Flyway and La Grima Road, received mandatory go evacuation orders around 1:08 p.m. yesterday. This order has been lifted as of this afternoon. Currently, this fire is not contained and has burned 500-plus acres of land in its path. This morning, the fire was reported to be creeping and smoldering and is expected to pick back up with the weather this afternoon.
How about this heat wave, huh?
My goodness, it is crazy. I'm ready to go take a dip in the pool.
Amen. And a nice cup of lemonade.
Nice cup of lemonade. It's really summertime here in Eastern Plains. So, speaking of summertime, let's take a look at some current temperatures across the eastern New Mexico and West Texas. 84 currently in Rio Doso, 97 in Roswell currently, 97 up here in Portales, and then 95 in Clovis. Out in West Texas, Lubbock, Texas at 98, and then down in Hobbs, 95 currently. Let's take a look at our current radar. It is clear skies, beautiful evening here in Portales. A little bit of cloud cover around the Tucumcari area off of I-40 heading to Amarillo, but it's a beautiful day here. Let's take a look here at the next couple hours here in Portales. We're going to see at 6 p.m. tonight, it's going to be 96, and then at 7, it's going to dip down a little bit to 89. And then tonight at 8 p.m., it's going to be 79 with clear skies. That's all the weather I have for y'all right now. I'll have more on this heat wave and possibly chances of rain possibly next week. But back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Jaden. The University of New Mexico in Albuquerque is planning to install new security measurements at the entrances to its campus. The Union Board of Riggins has approved the construction of automated access gates at 4 campus entrances during a meeting held on the 17th of this month. The planned gates at Princeton Drive, Stanford Drive, Yale Boulevard, and Tarrant Street will automatically close nightly from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., replacing temporary barriers that have been manually set in place every night since August 2025. Teresa Constantinides, Executive Vice President for UNM Finance and Administration, told the UNM newsroom, "The university has always worked to ensure that our students, staff, and community feel safe on campus. This project will help our security to protect the campus and provides them an additional tool for keeping our residents and after-hour staff safe." The $1.43 million construction project is set to begin this May and is estimated to be completed in September.
The Taos Ski Valley has announced that they will be closing early this season because of unreasonably warm weather. The Ski Valley mountain teams worked hard to keep the mountain open, but Mother Nature had different plans. The original closing date was April 5th. However, now the last day of the season is Sunday, March 29th. There will be a season celebration in the base area plaza held on March 28th. The Taos Valley is not the only resort to have closed early this season. The weather has also caused Ski Santa Fe and Red River to close their seasons early. The rest of the state's ski resorts are also expected to close for the season by early April. Coming up after the break, Jaden will have his full weather report.
But first, let's take a look at today's financial market.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Jane Phillips. Let's take a look at today's forecast. You're seeing a little bit of snow up in the Toronto area in Canada, and then quite a bit of rain between Washington, New York, and Toronto area. Out in the West Coast, so you're seeing a little bit more or less rain up around the northern states, and then Colorado has a little bit of rain. And then here in the eastern New Mexico, you're seeing a little bit of cloud cover rain in the northern mountains. Here in eastern New Mexico, clear skies, beautiful evening here in Portales currently. Let's take a look at current temperatures. It's a hot summer day, it feels like, here across New Mexico. We're going to start up north, 86 in Farmington, 85 in Santa Fe. Up north in Clayton, 86. Down in Albuquerque, 88. Gallup at 85. 92 Socorro, 92 in Truth or Consequences. Down in Rio Doso, it's 84 currently. Santa Rosa at 91. Here in Portales, we're currently sitting at 97. And Roswell also at 97. Lubbock, Texas is at 92 right now. And then Hobbs, New Mexico is at a blistering 95. Move on to tonight's lows. It's going to dip down a little bit, feel more like spring. So we're going to be at 42 up in Farmington, 33 in Gallup, 51 in Albuquerque. Santa Fe is going to be at 42. Clayton's going to be at 38 tonight. And then down south, they're going to be in the mid-50s to lower 50s. 42 in Rio Doso. Here in Portales, we're going to see a low tonight of 44. Clovis at 41. Tucumcari 43. Up in Amarillo is going to be 40. And then tonight in Lubbock is going to be 46 tonight. Move on to our day planner. Tonight at 7 p.m., it's going to be 89 degrees, sunny conditions. Tomorrow at 8 a.m., it's going to be a nice spring morning with 62. And then by 5 p.m. tomorrow, it's going to be summertime with 96 and sunny conditions. Let's move on to our wind speeds. You're going to see a gust here and there tonight. At 6 p.m. tonight, it's going to be out of the south at 11 miles per hour. And then it's going to dip down throughout the evening with no breeze. And then in the morning, it's going to pick back up around the 6 to 8 a.m. around 4 to 3 miles per hour. So it's been a little bit better with the winds compared to last week, but tomorrow's going to pick up out of the south at 13 miles per hour tonight, and then 56 with clear skies. Moving on to tomorrow's highs. Up north in Farmington, 83. Gallup is going to be at 73. Albuquerque at 87 tomorrow. Here in New Mexico, we're going to see 98 here in Portales. First triple digits on record this year, actually, in Roswell at 100. And then Amarillo is going to also be at 100 tomorrow. Lubbock, Texas at 98. 98 in Tucumcari, Clovis at 97. And Santa Rosa, New Mexico is going to be at 94. Let's take a look at tomorrow here in Portales. We're going to see a daytime high of 98 with sunny conditions. Winds out of the west-southwest at 17 miles per hour. Move on to tomorrow night's lows. You're going to see up in Clayton 60, 61 in Tucumcari. Here in Portales, we're going to see 56 tomorrow night. Up in Clovis, 55. And then we're going to be in the mid-50s to lower 50s throughout the southwest of New Mexico. 62 up in Amarillo, and Lubbock is going to be at 59 tomorrow. Let's take a look at some 7-day forecast. Here at Portales, we're going to see tomorrow's going to be 98 with lows out with 44. Windy on Friday with 58 and 30 as the low. And then it dips really down this weekend with 69 on Saturday, partly cloudy skies. Sunday's going to have a small chance of rain with 88 and 45 as the low. And then it picks right back up next week with 88 on Monday. Tuesday's going to be 87 with lows in the 50. And then next weekend is going to be 77 with windy conditions. So this week felt like summer. Next week, more like spring.
So I'm actually kind of confused on whether I should go to the pool, but we'll have more with you after the break.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Steven Shun. Let's take a look at today's sports report. This past weekend was an exciting one in the Division 1 March Madness tournament. On Saturday, the number 11 seed Texas Longhorns beat the number 3 seed Gonzaga University with a score of 74-68, and the Longhorns are heading to the Sweet 16. Another close game was number 5 seed Vanderbilt and number 4 seed Nebraska. This game was close the whole time, but the Cornhuskers of Nebraska won the game with a score of 74-72 in the second round of the South Regionals. Now dribbling into Sunday, some of the games that were memorable to watch was the number 5 seed St. John's beat the number 4 seed Kansas Jayhawks with a score of 67-65. Another game that was close won the whole way was the Iowa and Florida game. The number 9 seed Iowa Hawkeyes crushed the number 1 and defending national champs with a score of 73-72 and ending the season for the Florida Gators' hopes into making it to the Sweet 16. The Sweet 16 starts tomorrow and runs through Friday night, and we'll see who makes it into the Elite 8. The Lobos of the University of New Mexico hosted and won the first 2 rounds of the tournament, as well as the quarterfinals at the Pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In the first round, the Lobos beat the Bearcats of Sam Houston 107-83. Then in the second round, UNM beat George Washington University 86-61. Last night's game against the Hawks of St. Joseph's and the Lobos was a good one, even though UNM was down at halftime. They came back and ended the season for St. Joseph's with a score of 84-69. Going to Indianapolis for the semifinals for the tournament is very good for the Lobos, especially since they lost in the Mountain West tournament finals and did not make it into March Madness. UNM is the #1 seed in this tournament. The Lobos will play the #1 seed in the Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa University on Thursday, April 2nd at 5 p.m. Mountain Time to see who makes it into the finals. The Lady Hounds were on the road this past weekend as they were in Wichita Falls, Texas to play the Mustangs of Midwestern State University and swept the Mustangs. Their record is now 14-13 overall and 10-10 in the conference. In Game 1, the Hounds won 11-2 in only 5 innings. During this game, Emily Marsh had the most hits with 3. Emily Marsh also had 3 runs during the game, which made the Hounds win it with the 11-2 in the first 5 innings, instead of going the full 7. The Hounds also headed to Lubbock to play the Chaps of Lubbock Christian University, and the Chaps won both those games on Sunday. In Game 1, the score was 0-11 in 5 innings, and in Game 2, the Hounds came close but lost 3-4 against the Lady Chaps. The Hounds are on the road this weekend to play the #1 seed in the LSC, the Lady Buffs of West Texas A&M, with Game 1 starting at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Mountain Time. The 152nd Kentucky Derby is scheduled for Saturday, May 2nd in Louisville, Kentucky. Right now, Fuller Fort has total points of 110 and is holding first in the race overall. Fuller Fort has already arrived at Churchill to start practicing for the Derby and to quarantine the horses. Right now for Japan, Lucky Kid is the leader in the leaderboard right now with 30 points. Lucky Kid has a really good chance to get RSVP for the Derby and to participate in the race. More news on the Derby will be updated as the race gets closer. That's all the sports I have right now, but don't go anywhere because we have more news after this break.
Welcome back. With spring in full swing, now is a great time to get out and about. And what better way to do that than preparing to try out the new and improved pickleball courts at ENMU. They aren't done just yet and won't be for the next 2 weeks, but once it's done, the court should look brand new and be ready to be played on once again.
NASA is continuing its target launch date of April 1st for the Artemis II space launch system. This mission marks the first time in over 50 years that humans have left Earth's orbit. After Artemis II launches, it will start its 10-day test flight, sending 4 astronauts into its Orion spacecraft on a trip around the moon, and during this trip, they will lose contact with Earth for an estimated 40 minutes. This is planned and is due to the moon blocking direct radio communications from Earth and the spacecraft. As the last preparations continue, NASA has a live stream on their official YouTube daily, so you can view the Artemis II SLS rocket on launch pad 39B prior to its spectacular watch. We will keep you up to date on the Artemis II and the 4 stellar astronauts paving the way for all of humanity. Another out-of-this-world event is happening in the skies in April. Discovered January 19th of this year, Comet C/2026 A1, otherwise known as Comet MAPS, is heading towards our sun. The comet is categorized as a Creutz's sun grazer. Some of the brightest comets through history were members of the Creutz group. This comet's fate, however, has not been yet determined. It could either become a spectacular comet show or break up near the sun. So keep your eyes towards the skies around April 4th in hopes that the incredible comet makes it past our sun. However, another spectacular comet will be in our skies later in April called C/2025 R3, also known as Comet Pan-STARRS. The best viewing time for this comet is around April 17th through 27th, 2026. We will give an update closer to these beautiful stellar events.
The New Mexico Office of Broadband Access and Expansion will co-host a ribbon-cutting ceremony with Ethos Broadband in Truth or Consequences. The event is planned to take place at the Ellis House and plans to start at 11 a.m. on Friday. The reasoning for the ceremony is to celebrate the completion of a critical broadband infrastructure project that will connect nearly 3,000 new locations to high-speed internet. The project is ready to connect 2,932 locations, including homes, businesses, and farms. The project is funded by an $8.5 million grant awarded by OBE to Ethos Broadband through the Federal American Rescue Plan Act. Some faces that will be at the ceremony include Senator Michael Padilla, the mayor of Truth or Consequences, Rolf Heckler, and Ethos Broadband's general manager, Nectarios Nicolaou. Once again, the ribbon-cutting ceremony will be at 11 a.m. on Friday, located on the Ellis House. Coming up after the break, we see who the pet of the day is.
And we have one last look at the weather, so make sure you stay tuned.
Welcome back. Donations pour in for an elderly DoorDash delivering dad.
And 3 kids are rescued from the inside of an engine compartment. All this on today's Look at This.
This story about a Texas community rallying around a veteran-turned-DoorDash driver is both heart-rending and heartwarming. It started when Savannah Salters was shocked when a pizza she ordered was delivered by an elderly DoorDash driver captured on her doorbell camera. She soon found out the driver was a local 76-year-old Vietnam vet named Larry Philip Colvin, who recently came out of retirement to earn money to aid with his family's medical bills.
My wife is looking at a couple surgeries. My son has 3 autoimmune diseases.
KTVT reports Colvin delivers 6 days a week to make ends meet, with only Wednesdays off for church. Salters says she doesn't think it's right.
But what can we do more to help him?
Salters was moved to start a GoFundMe for Colvin, and the effort has taken off, with north of $20,000 raised thus far to help aid this venerable veteran.
God bless that lady. I'm very grateful. It'll help pay off some bills.
A helping hand is exactly what was needed in California when a driver showed up at an animal care center saying they heard meowing coming from their vehicle's engine. Sure enough, a pair of animal control officers got under the hood and removed 3 tiny kittens from the engine compartment. A post by the Palmdale Animal Care Center says the kittens were unharmed, if only a little dirty, and have since been placed into foster care. Finally, from furry to funny. and furry. Watch a gorilla at the Memphis Zoo stare jealously at its buddy's snack. The zoo posted the cute video saying just moments before, Penny had refused the very same snack from the zookeeper. Clearly, she regretted the decision, but she didn't need to be a weirdo about it. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Today's pet of the day is Bandit. Bandit is a 10-year-old Pomeranian who loves nothing more than his human companion, our very own Erica May. He spends his time with her attached at the hip. Where she goes, he goes. In his time he has to spend away from her, he likes to swim in the duck pond, fetch his snail plushie, and sleep under beds.
If you'd like to see your pet on News 3, send their name, age, and something you like about them to news3nm@enmu.edu.
Speaking of summertime and spring, let's take a look at some allergy reports real quick. So you can see that our tree allergy is high right now, pollen is at a low, and ragweed is also at a low currently. The further we get into season, the higher these levels will continue to go. Let's take one more look tonight here in Taos. We're going to see 56 with clear skies, winds out of the south at 13 miles per hour. As we take a look at Santa Rosa, today we hit a daytime high of 93, and then tomorrow is going to be 92, Friday 57. Here in Taos, about the same story. 100 on Thursday, though, first triple-digit record here, and then Friday is going to be 63. So summer and then spring.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ready for tomorrow, but hope you're ready for the news tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and good night.